In this podcast episode, spiritual teacher Doughty explores the deep challenges that hold people back from becoming truly magnetic and authentic. Drawing from his personal journey and professional experience, Aaron discusses identity patterns formed in childhood, the role of attachment, the dynamic of people-pleasing, and the path toward healing through self-awareness, energy work, and embracing vulnerability. The conversation also delves into spiritual awakening, the power of divine surrender, and practical techniques to regulate one's nervous system and maintain healthy boundaries. Aaron emphasizes that one of the fundamental obstacles in personal magnetism is attachment to old beliefs, identities, and outcomes. He invites listeners to reflect on the critical question, who did you have to be as a child to receive love from your parents? This survival mechanism often creates patterns such as people-pleasing or perfectionism, which were essential for childhood safety but become limiting adult identities. Instead of being inherent traits, these behaviors are learned patterns held in the body that perpetuate attachment and resistance beneath the surface, preventing natural high-vibration states like love, joy, and peace. One of the main patterns Aaron addresses is people-pleasing, which originates from the survival need in childhood to gain parental approval. People-pleasers often take on the energy and tension of those around them, expanding their energy field in an attempt to feel safe by minimizing others' discomfort. This coping strategy leads to codependent dynamics, attracting takers or difficult people, and results in internalized anger and resentment that remains unexpressed. Aaron highlights the importance of distinguishing between identifying as a people-pleaser and recognizing it as a pattern that can be changed through healing and self-integration. A key element of transformation is embracing what Aaron calls the dark side of the people-pleaser, the stored anger and resentment beneath the surface that gets repressed to maintain the pattern. He encourages people to become comfortable with tension, both their own and others, and to realize it is not their responsibility to manage other people's emotional reactions. Authentic self-expression may initially cause discomfort or even misunderstanding by others, but it is essential for breaking free from attachment to approval. This process includes sitting with one's own feelings of guilt or fear of being perceived as bad when setting boundaries or saying no. Aaron points out that the craving for approval originates from unmet needs in childhood. The path to freedom involves learning to give approval and validation to your inner child and separating your worth from external validation. True freedom is described as the ability to be disliked without losing your sense of self. People who live authentically may not always be liked, but often gain genuine respect, which is a higher form of connection. This shift allows individuals to release the burden of pleasing others and focus on being true to themselves. Aaron introduces a powerful, simple energy regulation practice called the frame technique, which helps people feel safe inside their own bodies and establish energetic boundaries. Using focused attention on the space between self and other, visualized through staring at a candle flame, this technique cultivates a sense of separation from external energies. This is especially helpful for empaths or people-pleasers who tend to absorb others' emotions. By grounding in their own energy field while remaining present and compassionate, individuals can support others without taking on their emotional burdens. The discussion addresses the rescuer role often adopted in adult relationships, rooted in childhood patterns where a child may have taken responsibility for fixing family members to feel safe. Adult rescuers tend to attract victims or perpetrators and can be misunderstood as controlling or harsh when they begin to establish boundaries. Aaron highlights the challenge of moving to a balanced center in relationship dynamics, being authentic and setting limits, while accepting that others may initially react negatively. This process is part of personal growth and learning to embrace discomfort and tension. Aaron shares his personal story of transitioning out of a 9-to-5 job into a full-time YouTuber, illustrating how shifting his self-image from average sales employee to a top sales employee catalyzed real change. He stresses that manifestation is not just about visualizing goals, but about embodying the frequency of passion and alignment with the present moment. The ego's vision often limits what is possible, while surrender to the unknown and divine flow opens up greater potentials. Falling in love with the process rather than fixating on outcomes leads to sustainable transformation and magnetism. Central to Aaron's approach is healing the subconscious imprints from early childhood, particularly the mother-father-child relationship. The way one related to their mother shapes their relationship to femininity and others, while the relationship to their father reflects boundaries, purpose, and abundance. Dysfunctional parental dynamics create patterns that manifest in adult relationships and life experiences. Using techniques like family constellation therapy, Aaron uncovered deep ancestral and family traumas that informed his patterns of people-pleasing, overwork, and self-reliance. Healing this dynamic is foundational to breaking free from limiting identities. Aaron describes his own journey of inner child healing, including moments of deep emotional release and connection through breathwork and other expressive modalities. Breathwork enables the release of stored trauma without requiring intellectual understanding, helping access suppressed emotions like sadness and anger. These emotional breakthroughs allowed Aaron to develop greater emotional presence and clarity, transforming both his personal relationships and spiritual practice. The conversation touches on Aaron's experience with the passing of his mother and father, exploring the complex layers of grief, family boundary setting, and acceptance. He recounts the emotional challenges of caring for his mother, managing family expectations, and reconciling feelings of guilt and loss. His spiritual perspective on death views it as transition, a waking from the physical experience, and reinforces the importance of presence, forgiveness, and connection beyond physical separation. This experience deepened Aaron's own healing and spiritual understanding. Aaron contrasts earlier stages of spiritual awakening focused on control and ego manifestation with a deeper surrender to divine flow. This second awakening emphasizes presence, allowing go of attachment to outcomes and becoming a vessel for a higher intelligence. He discusses how great athletes and performers embody this surrender in moments of peak flow, giving credit to something beyond themselves. This humility and openness to the unknown are key to sustaining magnetism, authentic power, and transformation. Throughout the episode, Aaron stresses practical techniques to embody magnetism, becoming aware of attachment patterns, healing inner child wounds, integrating shadow aspects such as anger and vulnerability, feeling the desired frequency in the present moment, and transforming one's relationship with self and others. The process involves embracing emotional expression, setting boundaries without apology, and practicing energetic self-regulation, like the frame technique. He underscores the value of playfulness, presence, and allowing divine energy to flow as essential to becoming unrecognizably magnetic. Aaron summarizes his transformation process with the SHIFT acronym: see the pattern, heal the root, integrate the shadow, feel the frequency of who you want to be now, and transform through presence and self-acceptance. This framework offers a roadmap from awareness to integration and living in alignment beyond survival patterns. He encourages listeners to start now rather than wait for external validation or perfect conditions, affirming that each moment brings a new version of self. The episode highlights the importance of identity work. How individuals see themselves internally shapes their external reality. Aaron admits to having waited for external permission before fully pursuing his path, and explains how shifting his self-image to align with his goals accelerated change. He stresses the critical distinction between waiting for something to happen and embodying who you want to become in the present. Releasing attachment to needing external approval or outcomes liberates energy and opens new possibilities. Aaron discusses how meaning is not inherent in events or experiences, but is created by the individual. Shifting the meaning assigned to challenges, failures, or hardships can transform one's emotional state and life trajectory. Recognizing that we control the stories we tell ourselves empowers emotional resilience and enables a peaceful presence even amid uncertainty or difficulty. When asked about his definition of greatness, Aaron describes it as being aligned with God or the divine and allowing that greater energy to flow through one's life. He values humility, the recognition of being a vessel for something beyond the ego, and the practice of presence as true marks of greatness. His three truths for life are being eternal spiritual beings in temporary bodies, understanding that meaning is self-created, and embracing the present moment as the most beautiful place to live. Finally, Aaron expresses his intention to bring more playfulness into life, noting that raising vibration is intrinsically linked with increased fun and lightness. He believes lightheartedness and presence attract magnetic energy and open pathways for healing and connection. The journey toward personal freedom is not just serious work, but an invitation to rediscover joy and flow in every moment.